One.
Good morning, student. Today I am going to give lecture on consumer behavior, and the subject code is BBA N401. This lecture is for BBA 4th semester students, and I am delivering the lecture on consumer decision making process from unit 3rd. So, consumer purchase decision process, it involves 5 stages of consumer behavior. So, what is the consumer? An individual who purchase product and service from the market for his or her own personal consumption is called as consumer. To understand the complete process of consumer decision making, let us take one example. Suppose there is a man whose name is Tom. Tom went to a nearby retail store to buy a laptop for himself. The store manager showed him all the latest model, and after a few rounds of negotiation, Tom immediately select one for himself. Tom is the consumer and laptop is the product which Tom wanted to purchase for his end use. Tom needed a laptop. In other words, he was actually Tom needed to buy a laptop which took him to the store. The need to buy a laptop can be due to following reason. Maybe his old laptop was giving him a problem. Maybe he wanted a new laptop to check his personal mail at home, or he want to gift a new laptop to his wife, or he needed a new laptop to start his own business. The store manager showed Tom all the samples available with him and explained him the features and specification of each model. This is called information. Tom before buying the laptop checked few other options as well. The information can come from various other sources like newspaper, websites, magazine and various other sources. He can acquire and gather all the information, and after that he will take his decision to buy a laptop. Now, consumer goes through several stages while buying any product or services. So, first stage is problem recognition. Second stage is information search. Third stage is alternative evaluation. Fourth, purchase decision. Then fifth is post purchase behavior. So, at the first stage, when the consumer is at need recognition, the first step is to recognize the need. For example, communication is a need. Need is most important factors that leads to buying of product and service. Need in fact is a catalyst which trigger the buying decision of individual. Need recognition occurs when a consumer exactly determines their needs. Consumer may feel like they are missing out something or need to address this issue so as to fill in the gap. When businesses are able to determine when their target market start developing these needs or wants, they can avail the ideal opportunity to advertise their brand. For example, an individual who buys cold drink or bottle of mineral water identify his or her need as thirst. However, in such case, steps such as information search and evaluation of alternative are generally missing. But the consumer decision making steps are considered to be important when an expensive brand is under buying consideration, such as cars, laptops, mobile phones, etc. So, at the problem or need recognition, first and foremost important step Without the recognition of need, a purchase cannot take place. Whenever we are going to buy a product, firstly we are recognizing our need. The need can be triggered by internal stimuli like hunger, thirst, or external stimuli like advertising. In Maslow's theory also we have seen that there is a hierarchy of need. Maslow's held that needs are arranged in a hierarchy. According to Maslow's hierarchy, only when a person has fulfilled the need at a certain stage can he or she moves to the next stage. As we seen in the Maslow's hierarchy, the first stage is physiological need, then safety need, then social need, then self-esteem need, and the last is self-actualization needs. So the customer, after fulfilling his physiological need, he moves to next stage, that is safety needs. So step by step, the consumer is, after fulfilling his basic needs, he moves to the next level of his needs. The problem must be addressed through the product or service available. It's how the problem must be recognized. So from this whole content, we conclude that at the first stage, the consumer is going to analyze his need. Now the second step comes. At the second steps, we gather or we search for an information. The customer may take after they are recognize the problem or need in order to find what they feel is the best solution. After recognizing the need, the customer is going to gather the information what is the solution of their problem. This is the buying effort at searching the internal and external business environment to identify and observe sources of information related to focal buying decision. The information search stage is the buyer decision making process tend to change continually as consumer requires obtaining more and more information about the product that can satisfy their need. Since consumer have different needs to fulfill, so he need many types of different products from the market. He need to buy the product. So while buying the product, he is gathering the information from various sources, like from commercial sources like advertisement, from promotion campaign, from sales peoples, and he is gathering the personal information from the personal source like his family, like his friend. And the public sources are radio, newspaper, and magazines. He is gathering the information can also be obtained through recommendations from people having previous experience with the product. The people who used previously that product, they are sharing their experience of using that product. So from that experience, people's customers experience, we are getting the right information to gather the information. At this level, consumer tends to consider risk management and prepare a list of features of particular brand. So while going to gather information, consumer is taking all the information from different sources and making a list of different brands which are in their priority, which the other consumers are giving their perceptions, their attitude, their knowledge about that product. And after analyzing all the information gathered from various sources, the consumer is going to decide which product is he has to buy. The next step is to evaluation of alternative. From previous steps, he gets all the alternatives which consumer can consider. Now at this third stage, the consumer is going to evaluate the alternative. The consumer evaluate different products and brands on the basis of varying product attributes. all the brand which he's considering while buying, such as Tom is going to buying a laptop of Dell, laptop of HP. He is going to verifying the different attributes of Dell also, and different attributes of HP also, and whether this can deliver the benefit that the consumer are seeking. A consumer can analyze which product to buy and the various attributes of the product, and analyze that whether the consumer is getting the satisfaction or benefit from that product or not. This stage is heavily influenced by one attitude, as attitudes puts one in the frame of mind, liking or disliking an object, moving toward away from it. Another factor that influence the evaluation process is the degree of involvement. So two factors are influencing their evaluation of alternative. One is his liking or disliking of an object, and another is the evaluation process, is the evaluation of degree of involvement, how much the consumer is involved in buying that, making decision buying that product, or how much he is involved in taking looking after the various aspects of that product. So next step is purchase decision. At the third stage, the consumer is taking purchase decision. When all the above stage has been passed, the consumer has now finally decided to make the purchase decision. Final purchase decision can be disrupted by two factors: negative feedback from other customers and the level of motivation to comply or accept the feedback. Secondly, the decision may be disrupted due to unanticipated situations such as sudden job loss or closing of the retail shop. At this stage, the consumer is evaluating all the facts and has arrived at logical conclusion, which is either based on the influence from marketing campaign or upon emotional connection or potential personal experience, or a combination of both. So at this stage, consumer is, after evaluating all the alternative available to him, such as if he is going to buy the laptop, and he has an options to buy the laptop of Dell or buy the a laptop of HP. At this stage, he is going to take a decision, final decision. The consumer can evaluate all the fact, for all the fact has arrived at logical conclusion, which is either based on influence from market campaign, whether his decision will be influenced either due to the market influence or due to his own emotional connection or his own personal experience, or he may his purchase decision may be the combination of both. Means he will be motivated by the market campaign also, or he can be motivated by his emotional connections or his personal experience. So at this stage, the consumer is going to going to buy that product. Now the last stage is post purchase behavior. This stage are critical to retain customer. Post purchase behavior is important factor in retaining the customer. After buying the product, if the customer is satisfied with the product, in future also he is going to buy the same product again and again. But if he is unsatisfied with that product and with the attribute of that product, in future he is not going to buy the product. In short, consumer compare the product with their expectations and are either satisfied or dissatisfied. After buying that product, after using that product, the consumer is going to compare the product with his expectation, what he expected with the product. He is going to compare it, and are either the consumer is satisfied or dissatisfied. This can then greatly affect the decision process for the similar purchase from the same company in the future, mainly at the information search stage and evaluation of alternative stage. So again, when he is going to buy